Mr. Stone. He wanted to kill Mrs. Stone.
My only regret, Carol, is that the plan isn't more violent.
Until something wonderful happened.
Mr. Stone, we have kidnapped your wife.
Imagine someone demanding money from me to keep Barbara alive. Idiots.
Now he's doing everything inhumanly possible so she'll never come back.
Don't you consider throwing a body off a cliff in the dead of night violent?
Nah, she'll be unconscious.
He's going to pay. He's going to pay.
Bad chance.
I'm going to drop the price to $10,000.
I'm being marked down.
That woman ain't coming back.
Ruthless People, starring Danny DeVito.
I hate the way she licks stamps. I hate her furniture. And I hate that little sound she makes when she sleeps. Wow.
Judge Reinhold.
They said they wouldn't follow me. You can't trust the police.
Helen Slater.
No matter what I do, or as nice as I can be, she just tears into me. She hates me.
Sandy, you're her kidnapper. She's supposed to hate you.
And Bette Midler as Barbara Stone.
It's not her.
You miserable, gum-sucking thing! Oh, honey, I'm so sorry. They made me say that.
Along with the most ruthless cast of characters ever assembled.
Spineless glimp.
Complete moron.
You inhuman slime!
Perhaps we should shoot her.
My husband worships the ground I walk on. When he hears about this, he will explode!
Ruthless People.
I dare you to kill her! Now that ought to do it.
Welcome to Dorking Out. My name is Sonia Mansfield, and I've been kidnapped by Kmart. Joining me is my podcasting sister from another mister and the co-host of Dorking Out, Margot D. Hello, my friend.
Give the bag to Bozo, drop the gun, and put your hands in the air.
Good one.
Yeah.
You did that perfectly. We are dorking out about 1986's Ruthless People, which was a request, and I can't find who requested it. She requested it multiple times over the last 2 years, and I still can't.
We love you,
and we love you,
sorry.
And I appreciate you, and I'm sorry. Please tag me in the Twitter machine to let me know.
It's New Year's Day when we're recording this, so we'll talk about how we spent our New Year's Eve.
Yeah,
but yeah, we're just getting this together.
Yeah, but I must say to this person, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
It is written by Dale Launer. This was his first screenplay, and then he wrote Blind Date, which came out the following year. He also wrote Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Funny.
Oh, okay.
And My Cousin Vinny. Funny.
Funny.
And he also did a movie I liked and thought was quite cute called Love Potion Number 9.
Oh, Sandra Bullock.
Yeah, I thought that one was pretty cute. I'm like, he's got a good track record, and it's directed by David Zucker, Jim Abrahams, and Jerry Zucker, and of course, they did movies like Airplane and Police Squad.
Great show.
Such a good show. Top Secret with Val Kilmer.
Great movie.
They were known for really broad comedies, and this one was the first one that's kind of different than all of those. It's
a full story.
It is.
Yeah.
And it stars Danny DeVito, Bette Midler, Judge Reinhold, Helen Slater, Anita Morris, and Bill Pullman. I totally forgot Bill Pullman was in this.
I think it's his first movie or close to it.
Yeah, this is before Spaceballs. He's playing such a dum-dum.
He's a himbo, as they used to call
really
them.
is. Did you see this movie in the theater?
You're goddamn right I did, and I fucking loved it.
Yeah.
I remember I remember loving this movie. And I can remember some of the punchlines, like in the theater, were just Danny DeVito and Bette Midler. Everybody's great.
Yes.
And all of them need to be. This should be like everybody who's at Netflix or wherever, and they're like, what do we do with like a $5 million budget or a $10 million budget? Like, what can we make that's actually funny and, you know, get people to watch a few times? And like, watch this movie and kind of replicate this. It's because it just lands. It does everything it's supposed to do, and it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. I saw it in the theater too, liked it, have never watched it again. Like, never watched it again. And, you know, our listener kept requesting it, and I was like, yeah, it's on the list. What a gem. What an underappreciated gem. I don't think people talk about this one. It came out the same time as Down and Out in Beverly Hills, which was the one that kind of put Bette Midler back in play with everybody. And this one was just, it was so funny. It's 90 minutes. And it's really funny. And the premise of the movie is this couple kidnaps their the wife's ex-boss's wife to extort money from him. But then the twist is that he doesn't want her back. He was going to kill her anyway.
He married her for her money.
Yes.
And it took his father-in-law 15 years to die, and he finally died. And he's the Lycra king in fashion.
Yes,
like
the spandex king. Or
the
whatever.
spandex king,
yeah.
sorry, the spandex miniskirt king. This is very 80s, by the way. Like
so
the soundtrack.
Everything. Wow. The house that Danny DeVito and Bette Midler live in is almost a spoof of 80s stuff, but it's actually in the 80s, so it's not really a spoof of 80s.
It's
style.
An exaggeration at the time, but it's jarring when you see it because you're like, damn. But Helen Shaver, is that her name?
Helen Slater, yeah.
God damn, she's adorable.
Adorable.
Everybody drink.
And
we
nobody
need more movies with her.
Yeah, and nobody did like polite and naive better than Judge Reinhold back in the 80s.
How sexy is he, by the way, in this movie? I was
again, adorable.
Yeah.
Like, everybody drink. Like, they are so sweet. They are definitely not criminals. They're so sweet. Like, as he's telling her, like, they have to get tougher, he's like ushering a spider outside.
And then the next scene, he just opens the door and he stomps
on it to show how tough he is.
And Bette Midler, so she plays this very garish, I mean, just the makeup and the hair and everything. And she's just crude and filthy and angry.
Yes.
And just is terrorizing them. They're trying to keep her, you know, kidnapped. And obviously they're nice people. They don't want to kidnap her, so they're trying to keep it nice for her.
Yes.
But she's like, from the word jump, she's like ready to kill them. She fights. She does everything you're supposed to do. Like,
all she does is kick Judge Reinhold in the balls over and over.
Oh, which I love those jokes. But he's trying to. So he sets this like $500,000, which is, you know, once again, this is like 40 years ago. That's a lot of money. And he doesn't have very much money for someone who's like the king of something. I think about now, like But anyway, so Danny DeVito is so fucking crude.
Yes.
Just a monster and so goddamn hilarious.
He is so good at playing an asshole. Danny DeVito is really good at that. Like, it's just his specialty. Like, he can be really soft and sweet when he wants to be, the actor, I mean, but like, he's so good at playing a miserable prick. Like, he's very good at it. That's what he did on Taxi. That's what he's doing here. That's what he's doing in Romancing the Stone. Like, he's very good at it.
And he's glad that she's kidnapped. He's like, oh, this is like a get out of jail free card. Like, and so he starts taunting Judge Reinhold. So Judge Reinhold's like, don't call the cops, don't call the media, or we'll kill your wife. So the next scene is like, there's cops and press everywhere.
Yeah, he's like, fuck it. Like, he was planning to murder her anyway. Like, he was on his way home to like murder his wife, and it turns out she's kidnapped because he is having an affair with Anita Morris. And
hot damn, how hot is she?
She's so hot, and she also has like her himbo, her side piece, which is Bill Pullman, and he's got this like dyed blonde hair with dark roots. It's just not how you see Bill Pullman.
No, and it's very 80s, like the jacket, but pulled up at the elbows.
Yeah,
you know, like they
Miami Vice.
Very Miami Vice. I love the first scene. He and Anita Morris are in bed together, and he's making these sounds, and she's like, "Rrr, rrr," and then he takes it back, and it's a little dustbuster in his hands. What was that?
I don't know what that's. I don't know. Maybe that's something that was going on in the 80s.
I wouldn't recommend myself.
I'm like, seems wrong.
Seems dangerous. But
seems
anyway,
dangerous.
she wants to break up with Danny DeVito, but she realizes that she thinks that he had his wife. She has Bill Pullman following him.
Yes, because she wants Bill Pullman to follow Danny DeVito and film him attempting to kill his wife. And
right.
Then they could use that money to go to Tahiti, which Bill Pullman keeps referring to as Haiti.
Hey, he's a dipshit.
He's such a dum-dum. But instead, what he ends up doing is he's filming a man who picked up a prostitute and a sex worker, and he wants her to be as loud as possible because that's his jam. And
right, because his wife just lays there like a sack of potatoes or whatever.
He says a gunny sack. She just lays there like a gunny sack.
And it's like, sir, do you not have a mirror? Like maybe there's other ways, But it's okay. So he's paying for a sex worker.
Yes.
And so she makes these sounds that are unreal. And Bill Pullman thinks he's filming a man strangling a woman to death.
Yes.
And he's so freaked out. He starts crying.
He's vomiting.
He's vomiting and crying. It's so funny because he just like, oh, this is terrible. And he can't look, but he's filming it.
Yes.
And then it's the principal from Head of the Class. That's the police chief. Oh,
yes,
sorry. Gave away something. But
spoilers for a 40-year-old movie.
Exactly. And this is what's so 80s about it. Like, I think they were going for an R. So, like, there's boobs. Like, the boobs of the prostitute are there. Excuse me, sex worker. So he's filming it, and he brings it back to her, and he's like, I can't even watch it. And so she tries to watch it, and then she can't. She stops. She goes, oh, God, this is horrible. And so she sends the videotape to the police chief. And then she calls him and she goes, don't you think that's disgusting? And he's like, hey, come on,
I'm a normal human man. I just want to get my rocks off.
So she's still in this affair with Danny DeVito. Now she's terrified he's going to murder her because she thinks she murdered his wife. So Danny DeVito meets up with her, and he's so fucking crude. He's like, I can't wait till we get together and poke through the whiskers.
Oh, my God. It's so gross. I wrote that down, too. I also wanted to mention, like, she doesn't even watch the video, right? But so Bill Pullman's like all crying and vomiting, and he says, it went on forever. It went on for like 2 minutes. It's like just a little slap at the chief of police who apparently can't last a very long time. It went on for like 2 minutes, but it's so gross. The whole like, sorry, I don't have time for a poke in the whiskers.
In the meantime, so Judge Reinhold and Helen are like trying to, they're kidnapped Bette Midler, who's immediately filthy mouthed and just horrible to them. And they put her in the basement, and they're so sweet. Like, they don't want to do this to her, and they're trying. And Helen Slater just constantly. Sorry, Slater or
Slater.
Slater is constantly. She was Supergirl.
Yes.
Okay. And she's also in The Secret of My Success.
Yes, which we did not like.
Which we did not like.
But she's adorable.
And here she's adorable. She should have had like a TV series, like a sitcom or something.
Why didn't that happen for her?
It's a shunda because it should have happened. But anyway, so she's constantly like telling her husband, I don't think we should be doing this. So Judge Reinhold says, you got to give me this money and drop it off here or we're going to kill her. And Danny DeVito tells the cops, oh, he wants me to do this or that. He doesn't tell the cops. No, so he doesn't show up. So then Bill so then Judge Reinhold is calling him like, okay, what if we bring it down?
It's
And then Danny DeVito was just talking to a cop like, I hate people who like bring down the price, and he brings it down, and he's like, ugh.
yes.
Like he's so disgusted. But then and then again, like he totally shades up, slides away from it, and then then Judge Reinhold comes back again, and Danny DeVito's like, what's going on? You told me you were going to kill Barbara as soon as I didn't show up, so why didn't you kill her? And the judge was like, do you understand what you're talking about? He goes, I dare you to kill her. Hangs up and then says, now that ought to do it.
And while all of this is going on, there's also a running thing about how Danny DeVito hates Bette Midler's dog. She's got this Muffy, this little white fluffy dog. So he buys this huge like Doberman pinscher named Adolf, of course, and turns it loose on Muffy. And then, of course, a couple scenes later, we have seen that Muffy has like made friends with this dog. They're like in cahoots, like working together to like tear up his shit. It's just so stuff like that always cracks me up when like, I don't know. I just like dog humor, I guess.
Yeah, no, and so he's frustrated because the dogs are getting along, and at some point, what they're also told is that there's this maniacal killer going through the neighborhood, and so the cops are putting out these flyers saying, "Hey, if you see something, call us, but be safe."
Yes, they're trying to get the bedroom killer.
Right, the bedroom killer. So Barbara's in the basement, and all she could do is like watch TV. So she gets really into exercise. Like she watches all these exercise shows.
Yeah.
And she starts working out, and she loses weight. She gets slim, and she's like, and she gets really excited. She says, I've been to fat farms. I've lost 6 pounds. Like she's so excited. Then turns out Helen, God damn it, Slater. Is a designer.
Yes.
So then Bette Midler's like, oh, do you have any couture that I could? She goes, oh my God, these awful dresses.
Oh my God, I was going to ask you, what do you think of those designs? I'm like, I wouldn't wear any of these. Like, no, and I like bright colors and crazy patterns.
Oh yeah, but this is tacky.
It's super 80s again. It's
very 80s.
Over the top.
Right, that's the whole point. And they turn out to be friends.
Yeah,
Judge Reinhold.
They hit it off.
They hit it off, and so then Helen takes her. Takes her. They had like a chain around her ankle, and she takes it off, and then they become friends. And then her husband like has to explain to her like, well, we offered your husband. We asked for the ransom. It was $500,000. She goes, oh, that should be no sweat. He goes, he didn't pay it. So then we brought it down. She goes, I've been marked down.
So you're telling me I'm being marked down?
And we forgot to mention that he sells stereos.
Yes.
It's very 80s. He sells stereos and speakers and shit like that. But the police, at some point, they feel like they find out that he's having an affair. And the police are really like, the chief of police is really like, they're hassling him like, hey, we got to find this woman. So he basically sets it up that Danny DeVito was faking this kidnapping. And like, he's the one who did something to his wife. He must have killed his wife or something. So then Danny DeVito is desperate to get Barbara back. Because he's going to, right. And by the way, Bette Midler, where she's saying that scene to Judge Reinhold, like, ooh, look at that butt. Wait till you... What did they give the gas chamber? I mean, just... She's so fucking funny in this movie. It's so then Barbara goes, they all become in cahoots with each other. So they're now going to try to get they're going to get all the money they can from Danny DeVito. And then Judge Reinhold has this scene where he's picking up the ransom money and he's wearing this clown outfit. And it's so fucking, I can't tell you how funny it is. It's good.
I love the part where Bette Midler is calling the payphone and
and they're taking the tofu burgers.
Well, there's that part too where they're cooking burgers. They don't even eat meat. It's tofu burgers because they're so kind, and they're making it sound like they're burning her with cigarettes. And she's like, just pay them whatever they want, and like all this stuff. But then later there's he picks up the payphone and it's Bette Midler, and she's like insulting him and then saying like, I'm sorry, they're making me say that. They've got a gun to my head. And she's like sipping champagne and like calling him all these names. Sorry, they made me say that. Like, it's just so funny.
It's hilarious. He's going. By the way, we're going to spoil it.
Yeah.
So Judge Reinhold is going to pick up the ransom money, and it's all in a briefcase. And the cops are like, put every dollar in there that they tell you.
Yes.
Like, don't give us a hard time, because agents won't give up the money. So the cops are surrounding them. They're in Santa Monica. They're surrounding him, and then all of a sudden, Danny DeVito puts his gun at Judge Reinhold and takes the briefcase.
And then Bill Pullman shows up.
Bill Pullman shows up and puts a gun against him. And he doesn't understand, like, where are those voices coming from?
Yeah.
Judge Reinhold's like, we're surrounded.
The cops are like, put the gun down. And he's like, who's saying that? Like he thinks it's God or something.
It's so fucking hilarious. And then
Who's saying that?
Who said the Judge Reinhold's like, we're being surrounded.
Idiot.
Well, then who's talking? I don't know. You got me there. Like, so then they start shooting at Bill Pullman's car, and then he gives the money back to Judge Reinhold, and then he's like, all right, don't follow me. And there's like 20 cops following him, and he drives the car off the Santa Monica Pier, and then they say to Danny DeVito, like, we're sorry, we can't find Barbara. She probably was in the car with him. And Danny DeVito's like walking away from the pier, and they think he's crying, and he's actually laughing and like celebrating because he thinks she's dead.
He's such a dick.
He's awful, but I love mean comedy like this. Like, it's just, there's right, Max.
I know, Max. I know.
Bette Midler comes back and she sees him, and they see each other, and he's like, oh my God, you look great. She looks beautiful and she looks great. And then she's like, thank you, officers. I'll talk to my husband now.
Yes.
And the one officer's like, I hope I'm like them when I have been married for 15 years. And Bette Midler's kicking the shit out of Danny DeVito.
She's literally like in a fucking headlock, just like punching him in the face.
And then she kicks him off of the pier.
I'm like, I know the feeling, girl.
Oh yeah.
But it's just so funny. And then, you know, they fish the car out, and earlier in the movie they had caught Judge Reinhold.
Kill him.
Yeah, Judge Reinhold, Helen, Slater, and Bette Midler had caught the bedroom killer. And
he fell down the steps to the basement and like broke his neck or something.
Yeah,
and that's so funny. Bette Midler's like, he said, I was his mother, you were his father. So if we had a kid, this is what our son would look like. And that's an argument for birth control.
Such a good line. Such a good line.
She's so good in this movie.
So they have the bedroom killer's body in the car, so it looks like he was the kidnapper all along. And then he mentioned a partner, and she's like, he was schizophrenic. He thought he had partners.
And the cops are like, oh, okay.
That works.
That works. So then she's walking down. We see Judge Reinhold. He comes out of the ocean, and he's got the briefcase with him, and he's got his scuba gear and whatever. And he and Helen are going to like go off into the sunset, and that's when Bette Midler shows up. And they walk together. They all hug. They're going to be in on it together. Yeah. They're going to go on this fashion label together. It's so good. It's
really,
so
really
fucking funny.
It is really funny. I'm so glad our listener recommended it so many times so that we finally were like, yes, we're totally going to do this. I'm so glad, because it really is just a little gem of a movie that nobody talks about.
I guess, yeah. And it made a lot of money.
Yeah.
And the soundtrack is like, it has Springsteen on the soundtrack and Billy Joel. There's Ruthless people.
Well, that's the Mick Jagger one. It's
boy, that's terrible.
But Luther Vandross is on there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a good soundtrack. And they only made it for like $5 million and made like $20 million. It made a lot of money.
It made over $70 million. That's a lot of money for the time.
It's a money machine. Yeah. And it's like, why don't we get more of this, please?
Yes.
It's great script. It's tight. It's funny.
Yes.
It's just, I love every performance.
Yeah. Everybody down to like the smallest parts
Yeah.
is probably someone you'll recognize, and they're bringing it, and it's funny, like every single part. And you like the people you're supposed to like.
Right.
And Danny DeVito, so good at playing a prick. Like, he's just so good. It's just such a good movie. I read that originally they wanted to cast Madonna as Barbara Stone.
And she disagreed with she would not have been funny.
No,
I'm sorry.
like, that's just not the right part for Madonna. It needed to be someone like Bette Midler. Like, Madonna married to Danny DeVito is not funny.
It doesn't make sense.
No.
And I'm sorry, she's not that great of an actress. She's just not. I mean, you need somebody who has physical comedy, but also can just, I mean, Barbara is a real viper when you first meet her. Because she's married to this schmuck, and she's an angry person, and she beats the shit out of Judge Reinhold when he first tries to kidnap her. It's so great. But then you get to see from her point of view what's happening and how hurt she is.
Yeah.
But she's also pissed.
Yeah. Well, she's been in a loveless marriage for like 15 years. She thought, I don't know. I put myself in her shoes, obviously. Right. And I was like, how fucking angry would you be if somebody was pretending to love you? Like, in 15 years. Like, so
yeah.
I don't remember how old she is in this movie, but she's got to be late 30s, early 40s.
I'm going to say 40.
You know, it's like the character, if you're thinking about it in terms of the character, like she's given up her like childbearing years, if you will.
Right.
Like, what if she wanted a kid? You know, I start filling in all these blanks. I was like, how angry would you be? No wonder she puts him in a headlock and beats the shit out of him.
Well, yeah, she supported him all these years.
Yes.
He married into that money. And yeah, he's a total sleaze and made more money and stuff, but he needed her to get there.
Yeah.
And he won't even put up $500K.
Fucking prick.
But he was going to get her killed. That's another thing. Like, because nobody's understood. Like, he was going to have her murdered. He deserves all that kick in the ass into the ocean. I loved it. It just absolutely deserved nothing less than that. It was so. And all the money's taken away, by the way, because Judge Reinhold basically took off with all the money.
Yeah, and they talked it up to $2.2 million is what they ended up getting from him. And then she makes him throw in his Rolex and his pinky ring.
Right. Just to fuck with him.
And they want the pinky ring. Put it in there. It's so funny.
She's hilarious.
She was killing it in 86 because this and Down and Out in Beverly Hills was really funny.
Which is on our list, I think.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it someday.
Yeah. And then like the following year was
Beaches?
Outrageous Fortune with Shelley Long, who
which is also a good movie.
Yeah, like another like underappreciated actress of
comedian,
of her time. She's so funny. In the Money Pit and True Beverly Hills and all of that. But this is a good one. I'm so glad.
Yeah, if you're just looking for a silly comedy, it totally holds up. There's no scene.
No, tight.
It's tight. I love it when Judge Reinhold is talking to the cops, and because they think he's a suspect, and he's like, "I gotta go to the bathroom. I got the stomach flu," and then he's trying to crawl out the window, and he's like, "Ow, ow!" And the cop just thinks, "Oh, poor guy."
He's all that poor guy. He's got the stomach flu. That's too bad.
And then when he's trying to sell, is it Dave or Chainsaw that he's selling the speakers?
Oh
to?
yeah, it's Chainsaw from Summer School.
School. So he's like, no, man. He's like, this is the size of a Subaru, and you can't afford it. But if you can't afford it, just fucking finance it. And
You'll have this forever, and when you die, you could be buried in it.
And then his girlfriend shows up, and his wife is obviously pregnant. And then he goes, oh, come on, let me sell you these speakers. It's a good deal. It's he's a really good person.
Yeah, they're both really, really good people.
So you want them to be successful. You want them to, it feels so good. It just really went down easy. I was just like this, and I was laughing out loud. It's Really fucking
I did
funny.
too. Especially when she was beating the shit out of him. Like
Ugh.
I was like, and just the cops going, I hope my marriage is that strong. And like, meanwhile, behind them, she's just like, So funny.
There's a scene where she's with Helen and Judge Reinhold, and they're just thinking of ways to like get back at Danny DeVito, and she's doing like karate kicks back and forth because she's all in shape now. So good. It's a lot of physical comedy,
Yes.
and then it's just like that deadpan. Oh, let's cut his balls off when she's saying that. She's like, does that
There's
snip?
a whole thing about like getting him stung by bees over and over. Like she's got all kinds of random ideas. It's really funny, and like Bill Pullman is so funny as that dum-dum, and Anita, I want to make sure I got her name right. Anita Morris.
She was a Broadway star,
I can see that.
and she's, God, is she beautiful? Like,
so beautiful. She's really like,
and she's funny.
she's so fun. Everyone so funny.
It's great. So well cast.
Yep. This was a great recommendation. So
Yeah.
please, person who recommended it, tag us and remind us who you are.
Yes.
Do you want to hear about some of the other movies from 86?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so we've done 86 movies before, so I tried to go deeper. Let's see how these work out for us. Clan of the Cave Bear.
Never seen it. Never read it. Never seen it.
I also have never seen it. I know vaguely what it is because it's got Daryl Hannah, right?
Yeah, and she has supposedly it's caveman time, so she has like these perfect teeth. A lot of people said like her roots are perfect, her teeth are perfect. I'm like, that's probably not the worst thing about this movie, but go ahead.
Yeah. And maybe someone would like to chime in and let us know, how is Clan of the Cave Bear?
Yes, please.
I did see this one. Iron Eagle.
I do like Iron Eagle. I did anyway.
Yeah, it's a like a Top Gun ripoff, basically, with Louis Gossett Jr. and Jason Gedrick.
He was cute.
He was very cute. 9.5 Weeks.
That's the sex movie that we all tried to see.
That movie's naughty.
It's wicked naughty.
It's wicked naughty.
Not very good.
No.
I don't find what's his nuts?
Mickey Rourke.
I find him always like he needs a shower. Like, you know, he has BO.
For sure. He looks stinky.
Yeah.
Also, Katrina Longworth did an episode of about 9.5 Weeks in her erotic 80s. And Mickey Rourke is problematic as fuck.
Oh, he's not great.
Nope. The Money Pit.
I love The Money Pit.
I haven't seen it in a long time, but I remember really liking it at the time. Shanghai Surprise.
I haven't seen that in month of Sunday. Long time.
Speaking of Madonna, I absolutely saw Shanghai Surprise because I loved Madonna so much in 1986. That movie stinks. It's
You
bad.
and I are such opposites. Like, we really are like Wednesday Addams and her roommate.
And Enid.
Yeah, and Enid, because you're like, Madonna, yay! And I'm like, all in black, all goth.
You were like trying to go see Ozzy Osbourne or something, and I was like, Madonna! Hilarious. A Fine Mess.
Who's in that?
It is Ted Danson and Howie Mandel.
Oh, no.
Nope. Nothing in Common.
I like Nothing in Common. That's a fucking bummer, though.
It's a bummer. That's Tom Hanks and Jackie Gleason.
Yeah.
Club Paradise.
Not good.
Not good. I remember being very disappointed because I love Robin Williams, and it is not good. Also not good. Poltergeist 2.
Really not good. They
No.
did not know how to follow up that movie.
No.
They should have left that one alone.
Yeah, the first Poltergeist is one of my all-time favorite movies.
Same.
And then the last one is Cobra.
Cobra is fucking stupid, but it'll also make you laugh out loud.
I would watch Cobra right now. Actually, I would watch Cobra probably over every other movie I just listed here.
I probably would too, because it's a good time.
Yeah. I like 80s action movies. I think they're super fun. And this one was Stallone, like after Rambo, I think. So It's pretty
He has
ridiculous.
a license plate and it says awesome.
Of course he does.
And Brigitte Nielsen plays his love interest and she can't speak. I mean,
Oh my God.
it's great. Do you want to hear about the top 10 songs? This is a good list.
Yeah, I do.
So this is June 28th, 1986, number 10. Fucking love this song. Peter Gabriel, Sledgehammer, that whole album.
I love Peter Gabriel, and I love that
too.
album.
Number 9, Janet Jackson, Nasty.
Fucking love that album too. It's the best.
Genesis, Invisible Touch. That's kind of a middling Genesis.
Yeah.
George Michael, A Different Corner.
I love
Not my
George
favorite.
Michael, but
I love him. Yeah.
that song also. I'm like,
I love this song. El DeBarge, Who's Johnny?
Who's
Johnny?
From
She
Short
said.
Circuit.
Yes. I love this song. I think we've done this week before, this month before. Okay. Howard Jones, No One Is to Blame. Beautiful song.
Oh my God. Howard Jones was awesome.
Here we go. Here's go back in the Wayback Machine. Simply Red, Holding Back the Years.
Yeah, oh, such a slow dance song.
Yeah. The Jets, Crush on You.
I
Fun.
loved the Jets. I had a crush on
you. Billy Ocean, There'll Be Sad Songs.
Remember when Billy Ocean was a thing?
I was totally on board with Billy Ocean.
Caribbean Queen.
That's a good song. And the number 1 song, Patti LaBelle, Michael McDonald, On My Own.
I love that song.
Good song.
I love Michael McDonald. I
He's
know.
such a bear of a guy. I mean, don't you just want to make out with him?
I have a friend who insists that Michael McDonald is the voice of God.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I get it. What
Say the line again.
Yeah. What else are you dorking out about, my friend?
Okay. Glass Onion on Netflix.
Yes.
I've seen it twice. The Haters. I don't know.
Who are these people?
Ben Shapiro, first of all, that genius who says they do a whole twist in the movie. Can you imagine, Sonia, in a murder mystery that they do a twist?
Is this the first movie he's ever seen?
He's such a fucking moron, and he's
so
considered a thinker. Ugh.
So stupid.
Anyway, and I understand people just sometimes don't like things, but how can you not like this movie? I found it incredibly joyful.
It's so entertaining.
It's entertaining. The movie's the music's great. The performances are great. I think they handle the COVID thing really well.
Yes.
Very smartly. I don't know. Janelle Monáe.
Oh, she's a star.
Oh my God. And Kate Hudson, adorable.
Oh my God. Everybody drink. So funny. She reminded this is the movie where she reminded me of her mother, where she reminded me of Goldie Hawn. Like, just she's so fucking funny in this movie.
I loved it. And Ed Norton, really funny.
I freely admit I have a crush on Edward Norton. I have had a crush on Edward Norton since Primal Fear. I think he's really, really funny in this. I think there are things about the movie I didn't notice when I watched it the first time. And then I've, seen some breakdowns on like Twitter and TikTok and stuff. And they just point out how very, very dumb his character is. But he thinks he's smart.
Well, because he's a billionaire, and because we worship billionaires and business people, we've all been suckered into thinking they're geniuses.
Yes,
and that's another reason why some conservatives are totally have their knickers in a twat.
Yes,
in their twats about it, because they're just like, no, what is that about? I think it's hilarious. It's that. I mean, I can't even begin.
And just every single person gets a moment to shine. So
yes,
like Daniel Craig is really funny. There's like, I don't want to like
scene in the bathtub. When he's
this,
talking to the other. I'm not going to say who's in there because I think that was hilarious.
I don't want to spoil anything for anybody, but like that was funny. There's like another surprise guest in his apartment that I was not expecting and was so happy to see. And then just how they reveal the killer is super fun. Like, and everyone is bringing it. So, like, Catherine Hahn is in there. Who doesn't love Catherine Hahn? Like,
Are you allergic to joy? That's my question to you.
like, she's so good. And,
Right.
you know, and then again, like, Kate Hudson, so good. I want to make sure I mention everybody because there was somebody else that, sorry. Oh, I mean, even Ethan Hawke shows up for like a second.
He's great.
Leslie Odom Jr. is in there. Dave Bautista is in there. Like,
It's hilarious.
everybody brings it. They are so funny. And
It's smart and it's
Yes.
funny. And it's like, seriously, you don't think it's like good for like a home view? You know, on your
Right.
couch with a glass of wine? What is wrong with you?
I
Sorry.
would rather watch Knives Out. Like, I still think Knives Out is the better movie. I think Glass Onion might be funnier than Knives Out. But I really like them both. They're great.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So that's a thumbs up.
Yeah.
I also, did you see this on Netflix? It was Murderville, and that's God damn it,
Will Arnett, Jason
Will
Bateman.
Arnett,
Yes.
Jason Bateman,
Yes.
Maya Rudolph, Pete Holmes, not Pete Holmes. No, Pete Holmes. He shows up at the very end. It's basically Murderville is a show where Will Arnett is a guy named something Seattle, and he's a he's a detective, and he solves crimes. And what they do is they bring comedic actors, and they don't tell them anything that's happening, and they just have to react.
Yes.
And that could be great, or it could be really dreadful. But Maya Rudolph and Jason Bateman are fucking hilarious.
Jason Bateman, another one of my forever crushes.
He's so funny, and it's so good. It's just really, it's silly, and I know it's a Christmas one. Like they stabbed Santa with a candy cane. It's hilarious. It's silly, but it's really, really funny. So that's on Netflix. There was a documentary, and I can't find the title of it, and it was about this volcano that erupted in New Zealand.
Yeah.
I was trying to find it. You know, Netflix, like you watch something and then like you try to get back to it, and
Yeah.
it's like, the fuck
I'll look
is
it
it?
up for you.
Yeah, that was really, really good because it's something I didn't know anything about.
Volcano, the rescue from Wakari.
Oh, it's really good, but it's super intense because everybody brings their phones with them now.
Yeah.
So there's footage of everything now, like as it was happening. It's pretty shocking, but it was
Okay.
really good.
Should I watch
And
it with my kid who loves disaster movies, or will it traumatize him?
No, this is real life.
Yeah, it'll scare him.
No, do not.
Okay.
No, you'll never. No.
Okay.
HBO Max, because it's the time between Christmas and New Year, so there's not a lot of new stuff. But HBO Max had Lizzo do a concert for New Year's Eve.
Yeah, that's what I did.
It was amazing.
Amazing.
She's a gift for
Yes.
us. We should all be grateful we live in the time of Lizzo.
Yes.
She's beautiful. She's smart. She's funny as shit. And she's just this ray of positivity. And fuck Jillian Michaels for all of her
Oh,
crap.
she's trash.
She's
She's been on our What a Creep
trash.
list for a while.
Yeah, don't listen to her. Lizzo
No.
is all about feeling good about yourself, like right now.
Yeah.
Not what you're going to transform into.
Yes.
Not
that.
what, she said, love yourself now. And
Yes.
you have every right to. That is a message we all need to hear.
Yeah.
More people need to hear that.
I was supposed to go see Lizzo in concert, but I got COVID and missed it, and I was so bummed. And then I saw that HBO was going to air the concert on New Year's Eve, and I was like, well, I know what I'm doing then. I'm going to be watching it. And just, what a fucking gift Lizzo is. And
Her band is great.
yeah, and the dancers are dancing their asses off the whole time, and like she's dancing her ass off, and there's all kinds of like, she brings out some special like guests that perform too, and like you nail it when you say, like, love yourself right now. It's not like, well, I'll love myself when I lose 15 pounds, or I'll love myself if I do this or that. Like, just love yourself and, like, be kind to yourself and be kind
And you
to
have every
others.
right. And you have the right to. Like, you don't need that outside affirmation. Like, it's okay to love yourself right now, even though you think you could lose some weight or you could get a better job or whatever. Like, she's just like, no. You're enough.
You're not, exactly. And, you know, she has these songs that they're just, you know, there's even one called like Special or whatever. And it's like, you're special. That's what you are. Like, and she repeats it a few times. She says, you could be anything you could be anyone in the world. Just be yourself.
Right.
You know, and the whole concert, it's such a fun concert because the songs are catchy as fuck. And like, she's an amazing performer and she's so fun. Like, she's dancing, she's playing her flute. You know, the backup dancers are so great. But there's also like a self-help, self-care vibe running through the whole show that I don't think a lot of people do. Like,
right.
The way when I watched that concert and it was over, it was the same feeling I had when I saw the first Wonder Woman movie. Where you like walk out and you're like, I could do anything. Like, and I was like, I remember walking out of Wonder Woman and saying, is this how dudes feel all the time? They just like walk out of movies and feel like they could do anything. Like, that's how I felt when this concert was over. Like, it's so good. And it was just fun.
Yeah.
And like, it just, yeah. What a great thing to show on New Year's Eve too. Like,
what a gift.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's such a blessing. It's such a mitzvah, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Also, I went to Provincetown, which I totally recommend.
It looks so fun. It looks so great.
I had a Christmas on the Cape, and it was
nice,
beautiful. It's everything I needed. It was just what I wanted. And then it was also so fucking cold because it's right by the water and it's the East Coast. And then it was in the 20s, and by the water, it's really. So I spent a few hours a day just back at my room watching the sunset. It was beautiful. But I also had on TV The West Wing, which I never watched.
That
for some
is
reason.
so like, I wonder how you missed it before. It was just like not.
It was just not on a night I was home or something. I don't know if it was like a third. I don't know. I was teaching for a long time in the evening. So I watched all of season 2. And then today I was cleaning the apartment and doing those New Year's things. So switching out the calendars and shit. And I'm like, it's on HBO Max. So I'm like, fuck it. I'll start with season 3. And I get why people are hooked. There's this rhythm like Law and Order.
Yes.
Like, there's this danger, and then smart people start saying smart shit, and then it's fixed. And then they go to the next week.
You want that in your government. It's wishful thinking. It's because they super care, and they're really smart, and they really are thoughtful about the decisions they make. And there's a reason why The West Wing came out. It came out during George W.'s presidency, I believe. And I think it was like some like wish fulfillment where people were just like, this is what we want.
People who are smart, but also people who gave a shit. I have to say, though, the character of CJ with Allison Janney, there's a whole episode where she's completely shocked about the song I'm Too Sexy by Right Said Fred. Did she have a head injury the year that song came out?
Like, she's never heard of the song?
She's never heard of the song. She was like questioning it to her assistant. Is I'm Too Sexy, is he anxious because he's too sexy? And they're like, oh, no, he's happy because he's too sexy. So it's a happy song. Yes, CJ, it's a happy song. And then she's going through the whole episode going, I'm too sexy for why. I'm like, is she fucking stupid? And I love CJ, but wow, do they really work at like, yeah, she's tall and beautiful and smart and capable, but she's clumsy.
Yeah, that's one of those Aaron Sorkin things. He did it on Sports Night too with Felicity Huffman. She was the producer of the sports show. She's super smart, beautiful, like has her shit together, but then she's like tripping over invisible nothings and dropping things, and it's like
and bribing people to get her daughter to college.
well, that part wasn't in the show. But yeah, I feel like that's an Aaron Sorkin thing that he probably I didn't watch his other shows, so I don't know if that continued or not, but I feel like that was a thing that he repeated in his shows.
But I get it now. Like when people talk about West Wing it got to the point where I was annoyed by it.
Yeah.
And so the rebellious part of me is like, well, then I'm just not going to watch it. And so then I soaked into it. Like, you're soaking in it. I just kind of really took it in. And I'm like, oh yeah, I get this.
Now you get why everyone had a crush on Bradley Whitford for a little while.
I have and I also follow him on Twitter, and he's very smart,
so smart
and funny. But I'm like, yeah, he could have this. He's married. I'm not gonna do anything, but I was
just saying.
Damn, yeah, just saying though.
That's a good one. That's a good one to watch.
It really is. Yeah.
You got anything else on your list?
No, ma'am. Your turn.
Okay. Well, you already mentioned 2 of mine. I finished Fleshman is in Trouble, which is on FX, and it stars oh my God, I'm gonna do it again. Jesse Eisenberg. I almost called him Mark Zuckerberg. Jesse Eisenberg, Lizzie Kaplan, and Adam Brody, and the whole premise is kicked off with Claire Danes was married to Jesse Eisenberg, and they get a divorce, and she drops the kids off one day, and she doesn't come back, and drama ensues. And he also like reconnects with his college friends, and that's Lizzie Kaplan and Adam Brody, and you kind of start seeing how relationships are playing out for these 3 different people as they're in like different parts of their lives. It's really well done. It's like 8 episodes. I think the performances are really great. I think they're talking about things that a lot of shows don't talk about when they talk about divorce. I guess, everyone who listens to this show knows that I am recently divorced, so maybe there are things in the show that are going to click for me.
Yeah, sorry.
And it's official.
Nelly, yes.
Yeah, and it's finally official. I am a divorcee. So, there were things in it that like definitely where I was like, yeah, that's super true. So there's some things in it that feel very honest and about marriage and relationships and why people do what they do, but it also something about getting older and how you change from your 20s to your 40s and you feel like you're losing yourself.
Yeah.
And that's really what it's talking about, is like changing without feeling like you're losing yourself. And it's really well done. I liked it a lot. It's on FX, so I watched it on Hulu, and it's a good one.
We mentioned, I think we talked about this in What a Creep, or maybe it was in the Patreon app, if we didn't talk about it on our last What a Creep episode, which was Ask Us Anything, and people asked us really good questions. But you mentioned Adam Brody and then the OC, and I told you that when I was working at YM Magazine, we did a party for the OC, and we were like the first magazine. And you were saying, were they nice? And it was Misha Barton, Adam Brody, and Ben McKenzie.
Yes.
They came to our party, everything. And they were so nice, so sweet. Every single one of them. So lovely. I mean, and Adam Brody especially, so cute.
Yeah, he's very cute.
He talked to everybody. And then this was my thing, my mitzvah, is that we had this party, and sometimes you get on these lists, if photographers go to your event and whatever, and this guy calls me up and he says, I'm with The Daily Show, and you don't understand, the writers of The Daily Show are the biggest fans of the OC you ever met in your life. And he said, can we please come to your party? I'll get you tickets to anything you want. I'm like, yeah, sure. So we had this club that we rented out, we had for the night. And the Daily Show shows up, not with Jon Stewart, nobody famous, but it was all the writers and producers. It was like their one evening off. And I said, can you do me a favor? Because nobody's dancing. I'll keep a banquette for you. I'll put a security guard there. Will you guys go out and dance? He says, absolutely. So they went on the floor and started dancing like maniacs. Everybody joined the floor, including the cast.
Oh my gosh, that is so fun.
And it's one of my favorite stories. And we had such a great time. And then it was an election year. And then YM had reporters, teen reporters go to the conventions. And the Daily Show guy got me all hooked up.
Nice.
With all those parts. Yeah. So these things pay forward.
Yes,
when
they
you're
do.
So anyway, it was a really great night. And Adam Brody is a goddamn adorable and very, very sweet.
Everybody drink.
Everybody drank.
Did you watch the OC when it was on?
No, I didn't. Because we talked, it was all over everywhere I went at work.
Yeah.
So I was just like, you just got to do something else. But I think I would watch it now, though. Because I watched The West Wing.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, why not? I watched.
I could get into that.
I watched the OC. I wouldn't say religiously. Like I would watch it when I could, kind of thing. And I always found it like super enjoyable. And I mean, it's soapy, and I was like, I like things like that. So
oh yeah,
it's very soap opera. But it definitely like went in like bananas directions, like a lot of these soap.
That's what happens with those shows.
Exactly.
Yeah, like,
they have to up it.
They have to up it. Like the first season, it's just figuring things out. And then the writers come back, because this is what used to happen, kids. You'd watch something, and then there'd be like the summer season where you had reruns. And then they had this time to figure out characters, and they came back. And then like a second and third season are great. And then you have like on Melrose Place where Dr. Kimberly Marsha Cross, like takes her wig off.
Amazing.
I'll never forget that. I will never forget that moment. It was, like that for people our age, that's like emblematic for us.
She takes the wig off and just her head's all shaved and she's got a big scar. Everyone went, what?
And there was, I guess there's very few surprises now. I think that's the point. Like there used to be surprises, and that was a great one.
It was really good. That was a good one. Another thing I watched.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, that's okay. As I'm trying to watch my 2022 movies. I watched Decision to Leave, which is a South Korean drama. It's directed by, I want to say his name, Park Chan-wook. He did The Handmaiden and Old Boy. I've never seen Old Boy, but I've been told I would probably really like Old Boy, so I'm going to go back and watch it. But this one it's set in South Korea, and this detective is a man has died. He like fell off a mountain, and he was like climbing the mountain, and then he fell to his death, and this detective is investigating it, and the dead man's wife is younger and beautiful and very mysterious, and he becomes kind of obsessed with her, and she becomes obsessed with him. And I don't want to spoil things for anybody, so I won't say anything else, but it's a little long. Like the typical Sonia, it's a little long. If it's not 90 minutes, I'm like, it's too long. But I actually think it's really good. It's really good. It's fucked up. It's got it's dark. I'll say that. But I think it's really good. I like these movies, I like The Handmaiden. I probably like Old Boy. What's the other movie that came out? Parasite was really good.
I liked Parasite.
Yeah, that different director, but like I like movies that are kind of dark and weird and fucked up, I guess. But I think Decision to Leave is really, really good, and I watched it on Amazon.
Oh, cool.
It's available for rent. And then what was the other one I was gonna... Oh, no, I didn't watch it yet. Never mind.
I'm trying to watch The Whale. I was hoping it was streaming. I don't want to actually go to a theater, but I've been curious about that one. I bought the book.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So we might do that for book versus movie. Ooh. So I'm interested, but I haven't seen it yet. I keep checking to see if it's streaming somewhere. 'Cause
Yeah, you'll have to tell me how it is. I wanted to see the menu with Ray Fiennes and Anna Taylor-Joy.
Oh yeah.
I think it's going to start streaming like tomorrow. And then I also want to watch Triangle of Sadness with like Woody Harrelson, and I feel like a Tilda Swinton might be in there. A Tilda Swinton, like there's multiple.
There's only one, trust me.
Yes. So that one was on my list as well. And maybe it's not Tilda Swinton. I really thought it was. Anyway, nobody cares about this, Sonia. Just be quiet. So that's on my list as well. But
give us your suggestions. Yeah, what are you watching?
Yes, please, everyone, share with us what you're watching. We love requests too. Ruthless People was a request. Somebody requested Private Benjamin.
Love that movie.
So I put it on our list. So maybe we could do that in January sometime.
Yeah, I'm into it. Now that I've seen Kate Hudson, and then she's turning into her mother now, like completely. There's this Goldie Kate thing that's happening with them.
We can most certainly do Private Benjamin next if you want. I'm like, why not? Why not? But this was fun. I'm really, really glad that we finally did Ruthless People again. What a gem. What a surprising, tight little comedy.
Y'all check it out. And yeah, people that make movies out there, more of this, please.
Yeah. There's jokes and characters and like really good performances. Imagine that.
Imagine that. Jesus Christ. That's all we're asking for.
Jeez. My friend, where can people find you on the internet?
You could find me on social media at Brooklyn Fitchick for Twitter and Instagram. My site is brooklynfitchick.com. And I am at Margot Donahue on TikTok.
And if you like the sound of our voices, we also co-host a podcast called What a Creep, where we talk about creeps of the past and the present. And we end every episode with someone who's not a creep, so you don't think the world is a dumpster fire. Give us a listen there. You can find me at thesoniashow.com, The Sonia Show on Twitter, Instagram, the TikTok, Hive, wherever you find your stuff. I'll try to be better about Facebook as well, where The Sonia Show is also on Facebook. You can find Dorking Out at dorkingoutshow.com. You can give us a review. That would be awesome. It helps us find our people, and we'll give you a shout out on the podcast. And Dorking Out Show is also on Twitter and the Facebook. This was really fun.
Well, you also just got a stack of stickers, by the way.
Yes, email us at dorkingoutshow@gmail.com. You could send your requests, but send your address and Margot will send you some stickers because she's nice like that.
I am nice like that.
You are
anywhere in the world.
You are super nice. I would not mark you down.
I need to find Bradley Whitford to give me a poke through the whiskers.